Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sean Harrington Show. I'm Sean Harrington. Today, we have a very special guest today. He is the host of the radio show The Fine Line, airing on 98.7 ESPN in New York, and the play-by-play announcer for the Rider men's basketball team. Daryl Fine is kind enough to join us today. So, Daryl, how are you today?
I'm great, Sean. How are you?
Can't complain. Not at
Thanks
all.
for
Great
having
weather.
me.
Yeah, happy to be here as always. So let's get right into things. It's no secret that you're really passionate about sports, and living around Philadelphia, the sports culture is rich. There are so many passionate fans there. How did you become interested in sports?
Well, I had a sports family. So I have two older brothers, my father, all into sports. It's pretty much all we did. They were so into it. I lapped them. I got so into every sport that I just even surpassed their love for it, and that's really how it starts. And then you just go with it from there. The sports landscape has changed so much over the years, but
Absolutely.
it's still for me a passion. Um, I am I was born and raised in Philly, like you said, but I don't love every Philly sports team. I'm a big Philly. I love the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, from birth, uh,
Yeah.
and the Flyers. I'm not a big Eagles fan, and
And the
but I'm
Sixers.
good. I'm good with the Sixers. I'm good with the Sixers.
Yeah. Yeah, the Sixers are like kind of annoying, but like they don't really do much outside of winning out of the first round.
No, I know it, but it's not even that. It's just over the years, some of their ownership, their management. I actually worked for the Philadelphia 76ers years and years ago, so it's things have changed so much, and some things turned me off to them. But I certainly don't root against them. Put it to you.
Yeah. So I have a follow-up question to that answer. What did you do for the Sixers? Can you get a little bit into that?
I was in the promotions department. I was a young kid just starting out. I was in the promotions department. I used to do the stats on the road games. I would. Neil Funk was their play-by-play guy. Chuck Daly, former coach, was their color analyst. I used to feed them the stats, and that's how I got started with that. But I also did promotions for them, ticketing promotions. Whatever it took to help. I did the halftime promotions and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Again, I was just starting out as a young kid.
Yeah, just make a name for yourself, really. That's all it is.
Learn the business. Neil Funk was a great play-by-play guy. He's probably more known for the Chicago Bulls and their great run. He was the play-by-play guy for them. But and Chuck Daly was just a great coach and color analyst and a great guy. And so you learn from them. And again, I was young. I was starting out. I was doing a little radio sports talk show for a local radio station. So it helped out. And, you learn from, I had the opportunity to learn from really, really, really great
Yeah.
professionals.
Absolutely. So going more into like sports broadcasting, how did you get into that business, and what made you want to pursue that as a career?
Well, always wanted to, as a kid, I always wanted to be a baseball player. But,
Hmm.
so I just loved the game. I was around it. I kind of got a lucky break again years and years ago. Right place, right time. Got a internship with an indoor soccer team, which I knew nothing about soccer. I still don't. Called the New York Arrows, a team named the New York Arrows out of Long Island, and it's that's how it started. I had an internship. From there, I started working for the 76ers. So that's how it got started. And, I wanted to be. I loved entertaining. So, and I love sports. So if you get the chance to do both, that's you're going to take it.
Right. It just goes hand in hand with each other, really. So, as I mentioned earlier, you're the head voice of the Rider men's basketball team. How did you get that gig, and what have you liked most about that job?
So as I was telling you, I worked for a local Bucks County. It was in Levittown, Bucks County. Geez, I don't remember the call. They're still there. I just didn't remember the call. That's all. But so I worked for them. They were carrying the Rider games at the time. I was just producing them, and then their play-by-play guy and color analyst both left. I auditioned, I got it, and I actually, when I started for Rider, I was the color analyst, the play-by-play guy. We started on the same day. Was Andy Freed. Now Andy is been with he's the play-by-play, radio play-by-play for the Tampa Bay Rays. So he's been doing that for years. He was with the Trenton Thunder, Pawtucket Red Sox, and Tampa Bay, still with Tampa Bay. So he was doing the play-by-play. I was doing the color. When he left to go to Pawtucket, I stepped in to do the play-by-play, and so I've been there ever since. So combined between the play-by-play and the color, I've been at Rider for about 27 years.
Holy crap. Wow. Good for you. So, all right. Speaking of also being on air, you are the host of The Fine Line along with Joe Wiz on 98.7 ESPN New York on Friday nights at 12 a.m. midnight and Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Tell me about that experience and some of the things you talk about on the show.
Well, Joe and I used to do a show called The Final Score years ago. Also, it was syndicated around the country, and that was a while ago. The show ended. It was a football show, so the show ended. Hadn't really talked to him in years, and then when he asked me, at this project, would I be interested? I said yes. So it is called The Fine Line. I'm the host, but it really is more about Joe Wiz and his analyzing the games. Mostly, I do the breakdown of the games as a sports fan, and he'll do the betting aspect of the games. He'll give you the odds, who he thinks will win. It's more. It's really more of a handicapping, betting / sports fan type of show.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people can get onto that, and I've become aware.
It's betting, although remember, whoever's watching this, bet with your head, not over your head. Don't go crazy. I mean, it's if you do it just for entertainment and don't get into it and get over your head, like I said, it's fine. But it has become so mainstream now that it's just, when we first started, there was no FanDuel, DraftKings. There was none of that. There was, now it's just anybody gets it on. You can get it on your phone on an app. So things have changed so much in that aspect. But I caution you, just be careful when you're doing it. Just do it to have fun.
Yeah.
Unless you have a lot of money. If you have money to burn, then go for it.
You can do whatever you want with it, yeah. But it's more fun if you use it as a hobby, not like a second source of income.
Don't try to get rich off it because you can't.
Yeah, absolutely. So last question I have for you. So let the listeners in on any upcoming projects you may have, if there are any, of course. I know you're a really busy guy, so I'm sure you got something brewing in the laboratory there.
I do. We're going to start a podcast called How to Bet. Now, How to Bet will be a show will teach you how to bet, but more of the show will be, we're going to break down the NFL, we'll break down college football, we'll tell you how to bet, where to bet, and who to bet on. So that's going to start soon. As a matter of fact, the 16th, I think we start getting rolling, of August, and that'll be with Sean the Genius Miller. He'll be my co-host, and it'll be great. I mean, it's going to be an entertaining show, informative, and hopefully we'll get into some of the fantasy numbers for you, because I know that's huge, and it should be a great show. So that'll be our new podcast, and it'll be seen. It'll be seen and heard. It will not just be a podcast that you can hear, but you'll also be able to see it.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be sure to check that out. So it looks like that's all the time we have for today. So thank you, Daryl, for taking the time to answer a couple of my questions. I really appreciate it. So that will do it for this edition of the Sean Harrington Show. Tune in next week when I interview Bucs quarterback Tom Brady. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.